What's going on, y'all? What's going on? All right. So I watched the All 22 film. So on this portion, I wanted to have a set focus. So Bump D, what's going on? So on this time around, I wanted to focus more on the front seven. I wanted to kind of answer some questions that certain individuals had about certain players. And a lot of that, including mine, were mainly in the front seven. Now, when I go back, I'll look more at the wide receivers, tight ends, backs, even the quarterback, and probably these DBs. I'll look more back end, but I wanted to look more in the front seven this time. So, you know, here we are. We need to pay CD immediately. Ryan Flournoy dropped 2 passes. Um, Yeah, I agree with the CD part. Uh, Florine, yeah, them drops, he can't afford to be dropping because at the end of the day, this is his opportunity to try to make the team. I'll be honest with you, in watching the film, now I wasn't able to watch like him in depth. I was able to watch the game when we were watching them when we were doing our scouting thing. I was able to watch, I believe, the game versus Kansas State, and I was able to like kind of like watch a little other instance. Like I'll be honest, it wasn't a full depth analysis, but in getting that, from my memory, I don't know. I believe I talked about from my memory, I wasn't too high on him. I don't think I can't remember my full analysis on him, but I wasn't too high on him. But shit, he got 2 more games to try to show up. He definitely shoot, man, because shoot, unless they gonna practice squad him. But I would take it that he would have priority over Cropper and uh what's his name? Turner. I would take it that he would have priority, and if there needed to be a spot as far as like practice squad spots, which I don't, I think you'd probably be able to get both of them on there or all three of them. I mean, on there, but if they had to choose, I would take it because he's a draftee and they want to see what he got. I would take it there. But one thing about him is though that he did pluck some things. He was more like of a volume catcher though. But I think my beef with him, I think, was separation. I think that was my beef with him. I don't think it was the hands. If I'm not mistaken, I think my beef with him was separation. I didn't. I think he struggled with the separation part. But yeah, CD definitely like the longer, like see, like I don't think Jerry Jones understand. Like the longer that he holds out, the more at risk it is to our season. As mentioned, I think a couple lives ago, we was talking about them little soft tissue injuries, right? Um, Man, and following the NFL for as long as I have been following the NFL, one thing that I seen that was a common occurrence was, when players hold out and they miss all that practice, they tend to kind of, have a season where they kind of get, they kind of get banged up. And we don't want that. Like we can't afford that. Like if for some reason they think that they believe that they can do something this year, we cannot afford to miss CD for a considerable amount of time, especially with the weapons that you have. Like outside of CD, who do you have? So, and especially with the run game, like, oh my God, like just think about how horrible life would be without CD Lamb. CD Lamb should have been taken care of. Micah Parsons has shown up. Dak has shown up. Like, why are we haven't taken care of CD Lamb? Like, that doesn't make any sense, you know? So Jerry just fumbling this. We don't need to pay the slot receiver that want more than Jefferson. No one fear him. Jerry offered him $33 million 4-year contract. Oh, so he offered him a $33 billion. Teflon. So Dak, you ain't really feeling paying CD, huh? That's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think they need to go ahead and pay that man. I think they need to go pay that man. But I can get where you coming from though. I seen your stance on it before. I can get where you coming from though. That's for sure. I do get where you coming from. But let's get into this thing though real quick, right? In regards to this front seven. So in watching, one of the first things that I kind of seen was Damone Clark. He was not looking strong in them trenches. Like there was time where he had an opportunity to make a presence and fill a gap and not get moved. He got moved very easily. No matter what he does, whether he's playing strong or will, he's soft. And it was on display. I believe the first drive. I think it was the first drive. It was on display. He just soft. He just soft as hell. Uh, so man, I'm like, to be honest with you, unless he just showed me something so different, like he just have like one of these, like just like he just like he got saved or something, right? Like he gave his life to God type. Unless he have one of them moments on the football field, I'm through with Damone Clark, y'all. For real. I'm through. I just don't like his temperament at linebacker. You know, for these people to be so like I think the highest person that I seen on him was a special teams coach because he volunteered even when he was coming off of being banged up. Uh, the special teams coach, like how he volunteered himself. I think he's probably the highest on him because what I seen from Damone, I was disgusted. Just like the way he got moved out his gap so easy, I was disgusted. Like you're a vet. This is like his third year. Like you should be better than that, family. You should be better than that. Adoga, I'm gonna be going back and forth offense and defense. So kind of bear. That's how I kind of took it in my notes, y'all. So kind of bear with me on that. But Edoga, yeah, cut him. Cut him. I seen like one thing's for sure. I shouldn't be seeing Edoga getting bull rushed, especially by a little second or third teamers. And when I seen him got bull rushed, I was like, that's now I know he got banged up though, but to see him get bull rushed like that, and he's supposed to be in competition to compete for a starting job, and he getting bull rushed by scrubs, I said, nah, that ain't it, man. That ain't it. Like I told y'all yesterday, I'm done with him too. He can get cut. You know, if we got to go ahead and get that spot as far as keeping Awesome and keeping Bass and having BB on the roster for some. Hey, if hey, look, to be honest with you, because I'm gonna kind of jump ahead with Awesome. If Awesome ended up being a swing tackle, I'm with that because he's better. Because to me right now, shoot, he probably do better than what Edoga would do. Now, Awesome Richards looked very good at guard. He looked good at guard. Awesome Richards had a good game at guard. He pretty much played the majority of the game. He had a good game at guard. His tackle snaps, even though they were limited, it wasn't so hot, right? He was catching blocks. Yeah, he looked uncomfortable. He looked uncomfortable there. He looked very comfortable at guard, but he looked uncomfortable at tackle. Now, the reason why that's kind of an issue, I'm gonna tell you why that's kind of an issue. It's kind of an issue because who your swing tackle? You got BB, he's a center, he's slash guard. You want to keep Tyler Smith at guard. That's his best position. You don't want to bump him to tackle just because you can't find no other tackle, right? And that's saying like it's something like if something was to happen on the left side, like we know Guyton is pretty much going to be the starter, but like if something was to happen, you want to be able to keep Tyler Smith at guard, and like you would damn near have to think about bumping him back at the tackle because it's like, all right, for what you've seen, Austin Richards from last year looked a whole lot better. Like when I tell you a whole lot better, he looked a whole lot better at that guard position, but tackle, not so much. Not so much. It was kind of underwhelming to me, right? And then you got Bass, who got to make this team. Like when I looked at Bass, like I didn't even have to look at Bass that much because I knew Bass was doing good. Like Bass is probably your future. Like if he's probably like, if I had to tell you off the rip for what you got right now, Bass is probably your future right guard. When Zach Martin hangs it up, Bass is probably gonna take over and be that. Like he looked comfortable and he pretty much he did what he did. Like even when he took over for snaps last year, like he did a good job. Like Bass is like all, and then the cool thing about it is all Bass got to do is continue to grow in his body. So Bass ain't even at his peak when it come down to strength yet. So that's gonna be an interesting thing to see. But to go down, Mozzie Smith. Now look, Mozzie Smith, especially the first drive, Mozzie Smith had some good snaps. He was able to get off on some, he was able to share some blocks and get in on a tackle. I believe he even got in on the first play of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Mozzie Smith made some plays, right, on the first drive. But also, Mozzie Smith wore down after the first drive because his body ain't equipped to be able to handle it. Like we mentioned yesterday, his body just ain't equipped to be able to handle those 17 games. Now, I do see the improvement. So shout out to the D-line coach. Shout out to Zimmer, right? But at the end of the day, it ain't good enough. It won't be good enough because he's not big enough. And if you're going to rely on somebody, like you can't rely on a 300-pound nose tackle to go ahead and give you, 35 snaps a game? Like, that's what most likely that you probably would want Mozzie to give you. Right now, 35 snaps, right? And Mozzie doing what he did, 35, maybe 40 snaps, maybe, right? You're not going to get the same level that you got the first few snaps of the game, throughout the course of the season with his current body type. That's just not about to happen. And I drafted you as a first round pick. And I didn't draft you to give me 10 snaps. I drafted you to give me more than that. I drafted you to be a mainstay in my run defense. But here you go. You thought that you woke up one day and you thought that you changed and you thought that your name was Slim Shady. That ain't gonna cut it, man. But he did have his moments. He did like he looked like that, like the way he looked yesterday. There's no game in the season. I know it's preseason, he going against scrubs, but there was no game last season that he appeared in that he looked better than he did this game. Now I know that when I say that, I know that it really ain't saying much. But we take it, I guess we're gonna take it how we take it on that. We're gonna take it. All right, so for Hoku, now what the hell? Why this thing pop up on my thing? Hold up, y'all. There you go. I don't know what the hell was going on. But all right, just popped up, man, when I went live. So for Hoku. Now we know that for Hoku at D tackle, that experiment needs to end right now. But looking at the snaps that he got after that D tackle experiment, confirm why I liked him. He had some good snaps at defensive end. Good snaps at defensive end, right? Like It'll be one thing like if they had the experiment of rushing for Hoku on third down inside. I'm cool with that. But to start off permanently, him at D tackle, that experiment has to stop now. Because I'll be honest with you, especially with the current makeup of defensive ends that you got, if Ohoku got a shot for these next two games to play defensive end permanently, Fahoku will make this team as a full-time defensive end. What I seen from him last year, he showed some of that this year. He was strong at the point of attack. When he would work down then the inside down the line of scrimmage, he would take two bodies. He had priority in squeezing tackles down so the linebackers can be free. That's what the hell I want at defensive end too. If we're not gonna get to the quarterback like we did last year, keep your linebackers clean. Some of the things that I seen from him at San Jose State, he displayed that when he was at defensive end. But when he's at defensive tackle, boy, he gets his ass whooped. But when he at that defensive end, it's a big ass difference. Big ass difference. Maybe I need to show that like in the film. Big ass difference, y'all. You know, yeah, he needs to go at defensive end and just accept the fact that what we working with at defensive tackle right now need to be the ones that compete, right? Well, let's go. Trash, pure trash. Boy got turned around a couple times. Slow coming out, slow get off. Didn't use his length at right tackle. Like it was trash. From the snaps that I really paid attention to, well, let's go. All of them were trash. And then, like, his only saving grace could be if he just turned around and had a very good 2 games, because we kind of hurting at that backup tackle right now. That's his saving grace. But something tells me he ain't gonna have no grace, because yeah, you've been banged up, so that probably kind of hinder your progression. But you've been in that weight, you've been in the weight room, because I seen you been in that weight room. You didn't put some weight on. You're a taller tackle that you should be losing, that should be using your length to help, because you don't move like Tyler Guyton. We understand that, but you should be using your length a whole lot better, and you didn't. He looked pathetic damn near. If he got cut, it is what it is, man. Now, to me, I think he'd probably be better on the left side, because I know that the left side and the right side is an adjustment, right? Because like even when I played offensive line, right? Even though I would play left tackle, I preferred the right side because I was right-handed. I prefer the right side, you know, in the way that I staggered my stance and what hand I put down. I preferred the right side. It wasn't too much of an adjustment for me personally to play on the left side, but I just preferred the right side. I just preferred the right side. Now, I'm not about to sit over there and make that excuse for him, because he's been practicing there. He's been getting reps at both sides. He should have been a whole lot better than what he did. He should have displayed it. Like, come on, like what, you about 3-4 years in the game now? Come on, man. We got this rookie from Oklahoma coming up in here and having way better snaps than you do. And you supposed to be damn near one of the vets now. You should be fighting for something. And it seemed like you damn near regressed, because you look better coming off the ball your rookie year than you did this year. So I don't know what the hell going on. But whatever it is, we ain't got no patience for that. So you better fix it. You better fix it. Now, Hoffman. Now, let me tell you about the analysis, right, and what I've seen from our starting center. Now, Hoffman, This is what I got from Hoffman, right? Like technique alone, like looking at like what type of blocks. This is what I got from Hoffman, right? This is what I got from Hoffman. Hoffman is somebody that's going to finish his blocks. He's an average athlete. He's a serviceable center, tight hips, above average at best strength, right? And my question is going to be, how is he going to go against them stud D tackles that we got to go against this year? How is he going to fare? How is he going to fare with them? That's my question. Because it's important that he ball, right? We had them same questions, right? When Biotis was first got in the game, right? That's the question that we had. Now he is a tad bit stronger than Biotic, but Biotic is more athletic than he is. You're not going to get no hellified center with Hoffman. You're just going to get somebody that most likely will just get the job done. You're probably going to go through some ups and downs because he's not that good of an athlete. In our reality, I'll be honest with you. At center, athletic-wise, BB looked better. Athletic, like from an athlete point of view, and BB is not one that BB is a box player. He's a box player. You want inside, you want power things with inside zone, right? Them should be your main things and roll. He's a box player. He ain't gonna sit over there and most like unless it's straight in front of him or at an angle, he ain't gonna go here and run laterally and then turn up the field 15 yards. Like that's not him. That ain't him. And we'll get into more with BB in a little bit. But to be honest with you, if Hoffman had BB's strength, I think we'll be all right. But the fact that he don't, I'm interested to see how he do. Now, from what he did against that Commander game last year, toward the end of last year, it pretty much was kind of the same thing that what we seen this preseason game from him. You know, he finished some blocks. He put a couple people on their ass, right? He stayed on his block, which is cool, right? He's just going to get the job done. But this team, especially with a rookie at left tackle and a struggling right tackle and an older guard next to him, to be honest with you, this team doesn't need a serviceable center. This team damn near needs good play, good to damn near great play at center. Especially if you got Ezekiel Elliott about to be your starting running back. I wouldn't say Travis Frederick, even though it'd be nice. But you need damn near elite play there. Because look at what you got. Look at what you get ready to put on the field. You got two new people coming in there. And it's both next to your future Hall of Fame guard. So not only, right, does Tyler Smith got to build continuity up with a guard, with a left tackle, right? Because they ain't named Tyler Guyton the start, and they keep trying to have him a Doga, Guyton. So he needs to build some continuity, not only with his left side partner, and he's probably gonna, and like Hoffman is gonna have to have times where he needs to be able to be by himself. And if we got to worry about helping him, then like what's going on? Like, because there's probably gonna be times where we're gonna need him to chip on Guyton because of his strength deficiency right now. He ain't the strongest right now. So he's gonna have times where he's gonna have to put that attention toward Guyton. And if we got to worry about that at center, that ain't good. You're not about to get some great center play but you're probably going to get what you got last year, some serviceable center play. And it's just going to look different. Now he did make some checks. He did show his cerebralness at center, right? That which is going to give him the edge. Because we're going to talk about that with BB. Like, there's no competition with that right now. You know, so if Jerry and them come up in his mug, lying, talking about there's no competition at left tackle, and there's no competition at center. And there should be, but there's not. The rookie came through. We knew one of the rookies was going to take over and start, and it's going to be Guyton, and it's going to be Hoffman in the middle. You got inexperience at center, and you got inexperience at left tackle. You got a struggle right tackle, because until he shows me that he back to how we were before we paid him, he's a struggle right tackle to me until he showed me different. He a struggle right tackle. So that's what this team is faced against. Harvey. No, not Harvey. We on to Morris Leofold yet. Now let me just be honest with you, right? Like I said, it was the same. From what I had to go back in the film, and what I seen a lot was the same thing what I seen. He was sorry at the point of attack. He got turned out of his gap. He a one-trick pony. I'm gonna tell you who took on blocks better than he did. And he ain't even stronger than Morris. And it's Harvey. That dude that we got from the UFL, CFL? Harvey looked better in taking blocks on than Morris Leofold did. Harvey had some good reps. Harvey was flying around. Like I said, when Harvey is free, Harvey gonna damn near make that play. So you're gonna need some linebackers, right? Like Overshown, right? Like when Overshown was moving. When Overshown free, Overshown gonna get there. You're gonna need some linebackers who gonna get there. If you got D tackles who's gonna do the dirty work, play after play after play, and keep them linebackers free, you have to have linebackers who gonna make plays. You got to have like Roquan Smith back there cleaning shit up. They need to be cleaning stuff up. And right now, other than probably Overshown, you ain't got nobody really that's gonna clean stuff up on a regular basis. Clark ain't cleaning nothing up. He's soft as shit. Kendricks, he gonna be a step slow all the time. He damn near might be a box player. Who knows? Morris, if you keep Morris free, he'll make some plays if you keep him free. Like I said, he'll come on a blitz. He'll shoot the gap if it's open, and he'll shoot it. But if he got to get through trash, that ain't what Morris do. And that's the same thing of what he did in college. And it translated and it came over here. There's no way that Harvey, who is not as strong as you, should be taking on blocks a little bit better than. There's no way. That's my beef. I continue to have that beef with Morris Leofold until he showed me otherwise. Until there's no way that somebody that's built like him that should be that goddamn soft when it come down to taking on blocks. Like that, taking on blocks is a mentality, man. I even see Overshown, even when he had to maneuver through trash, he didn't stay blocked. He got off, got into play. Man, I can't wait till Overshown put on some more weight. I can't wait till that boy put on some more weight. When Overshown put on some more weight, that boy gonna be something to bang with, boy. For sure. He gonna be somebody to bang with once he put on some weight. See that? Awesome Richards. They need to try. Yeah, awesome. To be honest with you, if I had to give you somebody off on the roster who gonna be my swing player on the left side, I'm giving it to I'm giving it to Awesome. I'm giving it to Awesome. I'm giving it to Awesome over Udoka. Well, let's go. Cut Josh Ball weak ass. Uh yeah, I'm giving it to over them. Now, Carl Davis. Now, Carl Davis, he has some good reps. There was one drive, man, out of about 3 plays, 2 plays, he was in on it, right? He shut at the blocks. He took on the blocks and he shuttered it and made the play. His strengths fit what Zimmer wants to do. That's for sure. It didn't fit what Dan Quinn wanted to do. It fit what Zimmer wanted to do. But there was times where I see the inconsistency in him, though, right? And what I mean by the inconsistency was I even seen him at times getting turned. So that tells me that Carl Davis, if he make this team, he can't get that many plays. He might get about 10, 12 plays. Because the more plays it look like he gets, the inconsistent and the sloppier it gets. But if you kind of give him in that Carlos Watkins, Neville Gallimore type range, right? No more than like 15. 15 is his max. And that's if he cooking. But that 10 to 12 range, that's where he need to be at. That 10 to 12 plays that he get there, he gonna hold them boys up. He gonna play with some strength, and and he gonna play square. But once he start going to be on the field a little bit longer than that, that's when you're gonna start seeing the inconsistency, the sloppiness in technique, him getting turned. And there's no way that your big ass should be getting turned like that at 300 and something. Him and Rogers is the biggest the biggest D tackles that we got. There's no way that y'all big asses should be getting turned. No way. No way. But yeah, man. Let me go here. Where are we at next? Oh yeah, we talked about Bass. Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe just need more reps. Now granted though, there was times where he looked kind of uncomfortable at center. After his snaps, it looked like he did it. I think because he struggles during practice with snaps, I think that was kind of a conscious effort for him to focus on the snap instead of it coming to being second nature. So he kind of focused on the snap at times. It looked like instead of snapping and getting ready to block. So at times there was like a little lag there. I seen at times, man. There was times where he was caught off balance, right? Like he got pushed back it in because he ain't strong. Like ain't nobody gonna push this man back like one-on-one like that. But it was because he was off balance, and that was after the snap. There was a couple some deep tackles got in his chest, but it was more of him being off balance, not a strength issue. There were times, even when he went to guard, there was some awareness issues, and the awareness issues came on pickups, picking up stunts, picking up, some blitzes. Now that's gonna come as we go, but it happened on more than one occasion at more than one spot. So that tells me that's a Cooper Beebe issue. That ain't a center issue. That's a Cooper Beebe issue that he got to correct. But at times his strength was on display, right? Shit, he had one time where he pretty much grabbed some dude and threw his ass down. I was like, God damn. So we know that grip strength is translating to the NFL. That's for sure we know. He is a box player that needs more reps. As I mentioned earlier, he more somebody that we would prefer, running some power and on some inside zone thing, which goes into what we got now because Zeke is going to be more of an inside zone type of player. Like Zeke ain't about to sit over there and be hitting to the outside consistently. Like Zeke is like 2 steps slow now. Like, come on, G. Carlos, was it Carlos Rogers? I believe it is. Rogers from Auburn, though. He did a solid job. He did make a couple plays. He just got to get more experience and get more work. But he did a decent job though. But out of all the big boys though, right? Him, Mozzie, and Davis, I think when it came down to like the better burst going north south, I think he probably got the best out of them out of that trio because like when he gets up the field north south at times when he want to put the pedal to the metal, he be kind of try to he be moving a little bit. So I think he got the better burst upfield than he. It ain't like he gonna get to the quarterback. Now we know he ain't gonna do shit when they come down to pass rush. Him, Mozzie or Davis. But when it come out to getting up, and maybe and that's gonna go well with when you got to stun him, right? That burst coming off a stunt that's gonna do well, right? But he did show some good glimpses of getting up in there and holding them boys up, right? It's different though. That's different though. Like we used to our people getting upfield, and now like we see in our D tackles really being in them trenches and really holding boys up and getting ugly in there. I like to see that. Like I can't I would love to see that. Like, and now I get to judge our D tackles off of like being like grown men in there. Like I'm gonna have fun with the film when it comes to that this year. I ain't gonna I'm gonna have hella fun with that. But yeah, man. He did a solid job. I can't say nothing about Carlos Rogers. There was times where he got caught not being square, but he'll fix that. Um, and at this point in time, if he make the team, because he going at minimum got to be practice squad because we ain't got no bodies inside, and Jerry Jones ain't made no move yet. So like at minimum, he has to be like that Rogers type of dude too, 10 to 12 right now. Because the more he get, I think the more it won't look good at this point in time, right? Not saying that he can't evolve to maybe be a 25, maybe 30 snap type player or something, but at this point in time, less is more when it comes down to him. Also, who I would like to see more next game. I forgot who brought that up, but I make sure to pay attention to him though. Morganson, the linebacker. He showed that he got a little some decent feel, some good feel with him at linebacker. And on that interception, he got good depth in his drop. Good depth. I was like, yeah, that's some good ass depth in his drop, man. I want to see more. He ain't the most athletic though, but he hustles and kind of got that feel to like go get to the ball. You know, it's kind of like I'm not gonna compare him, even though y'all know I wanted him, but Jack Campbell from the Lions, most athletic, but kind of got that feel to kind of get to the ball. I'm not saying that he is Jack Campbell, because of course Jack Campbell is better, but it kind of had that feel of Jack Campbell like, if you get what I mean. But yeah, man. Other than that, um, I ain't got nothing to say about Ball. I didn't really pay attention to Shipley because he don't matter either. What's his name? 64 though. I forgot his name. He trash. I seen him play left and right tackle. I forgot his name though, but he trash. That boy trash. Uh, but other than that, I can just tell you like this: we got something to build on. I guess you know. I still stand and say what I've been saying. I still stand on that because I didn't see nothing that'd be like, oh my God, we're gonna be balling. I didn't see that, y'all. But one thing I can tell you though is the players that I was kind of critical with, like Mozzie Smith, and even the rookie Carlos Rogers, like they showed that they showed some improvement. They showed improvement there, right? And that's all you can ask for. But like, and let me talk about kneeling real quick. Can't forget about kneeling. Kneeling was showing that power. Like I said, you got to understand, kneeling is pretty much a D tackle playing defensive end in our reality. So when it come down to setting the edge, that's not going to be a problem, right? The problem is going to be when Muff was talking about comparing this man to DeMarcus Lawrence. That's the problem because he's nowhere near a DeMarcus Lawrence. He's going to be strong there, and if you want any type of success, you got to rush him inside too, like for Hoku. Um, but he showed It was the first play too with Mozzie where he worked down the line and got in on the tackle. That was solid. That was solid. Like he showed some strength. He showed hustle, and that's where he gonna make his money. That's where he gonna make his money off of playing a run at defensive end, playing with shock in his hands and hustling. Other than that, if we thinking that we got some hellified defensive end because of where we got him, yeah, nah. Dak Glazers came ready to hate. First throw Trey made. Right. Right. Facts. Facts. You know, and of course, they ain't gonna get Trey's shot because at the end of the day, instead of instead of looking at Trey as potentially the future, they want to look at it as they want to keep Dak in business for another 5 years, man. But then they want to come up on here and cry at the end of every season talking about why we ain't go ahead and go to the promised land and why we keep getting our ass whooped the first round. Well, who 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 is the head of it? Who's the head of this? Who's the so-called leader of the team? Somebody who don't show up in big moments. So I guess these people, Kai, right? I guess these people, they just like winning in the season. And they like getting their heart broke in the playoffs. I guess that's what they like. I guess they don't want no shot at going farther or at least touching the NFC championship. We ain't touched the NFC championship since the Old Testament was wrote. That's how long it's been. They was writing in stones. They was writing in Roman numerals when the last time we touched the NFC championship. And that's what they like. They cool with that. But real fans ain't cool with that. We want more. You know, it's like when you see something, like even though like we know Romo, right? At this point in time, with the way quarterback is being played, we know Romo would excel because of what he brought to the table mentally and his talent. He would excel in today's time. But when Romo played, he wasn't playing in today's time. We love Romo, and we know Romo better than four, but Romo ain't did shit either. And we accept the fact that Romo ain't did shit either. Dak ain't did shit. He ain't gonna do shit. This is facts. So when people getting over here like they want to stay mediocre, you know, they want to stay mediocre. It's kind of like somebody sitting over there talking about how they want generational wealth, but they don't do nothing to go get it. They say they want championships. They say they want to win, but when it's time to go ahead and make moves to that and make them big boy moves and make them tough decisions, they don't want to do it. They want to put their feelings in a way of, over football. You see, I'm a Dallas Cowboy. I'm not a Dak Prescott. I'm not a Ezekiel Elliott. I'm not a Michael Parsons. I'm not a Tyler Guyton, DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm not them. I'm a Dallas Cowboy. There's been many people that came and there's been many people that left. And I stick right here. I want to win. You got to make hard moves sometime to win. You think it was tough for the Chiefs to let go of that corner, Snead? It was a little tough, but they knew they had to do it, though. But for some reason, these people don't want to make the tough decisions. And when you're scared to make the tough decisions, you're going to go ahead and get mediocre at best results. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm just tired of being mediocre at best. I want to win. And I know, and we all know, just like I know, that we ain't going to win nothing with Foe at quarterback. So they can go ahead and talk that BS all they talk. They could try to hate on Trey Lance. See, they're going to do everything but try to hate, right? They know the circumstances that Trey Lance was in, but they're going to do everything to hate. Man, look, This fool Dak done had everything that he could possibly have to try to take us to where we needed to go. He ain't did it. He lost. He really lost to some scrubs. He didn't had everything. He didn't have running backs, lines, wide receivers, you name it. Pass. He didn't had it, and he ain't did nothing. So what could you give him? You can get this man Jesus Christ, and he's still gonna lose in the first round. You can give him the whole Pro Bowl roster, and he'll still find a way to not win a championship. There's just certain people that got it, and there's certain people that don't got it. I seen a rumor talking about Shador Sanders. I can believe it. Oh, I can believe it. How Jerry is? Oh, man. How could you not believe it? That's marketing. That's a different quarterback. That's Dion connection. Like Dion, Jerry just like that's like a fat kid that love cake. That's how Jerry is, man. When he see cake and he see that chocolate ice cream, he get to having that Kool-Aid man smile. That's how it is. So if he was to get somebody like Shador, that ain't strictly a football move. That's a marketing move. So yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it. I'll be honest with you though. I think Shador will probably do more than Dak would. I'll be honest with you. I think he'll do more than Dak would. I think Trey Lance will do more than what Dak would. What good is somebody that'll throw for 300 and something yards a game and don't do shit? He was a real MVP candidate. Well, there's been plenty of times where you didn't have more than 40 attempts. If he was really one of them guys, then why is it that we gotta say we need to run the ball and play good defense to have a chance to win with a so-called MVP candidate? Have you ever heard that with Peyton Manning? Have you ever heard that with Drew Brees? Have you ever heard that with Aaron Rodgers? You never heard that because they're comfortable with the ball in their hands, even if it takes 40 to 50 times. But we got to dumb things down and say that we got to go ahead and give him help, a so-called MVP candidate help. When in all reality, that so-called MVP candidate should be making everybody else better, but he don't. So subconsciously, when they sit over there and ride Dak and all them, they really being honest and saying that Dak ain't good enough. They just don't want to admit it. So if they ain't willing to admit the truth or really admit the wrong, then what the hell they doing on the internet talking Cowboys for? Whether you wrong or right, come out. If you wrong, shit, man, I was wrong. Shoot, when I like a player and he suck, I'll tell you like, shit, man, he suck, man. He sucking right now. Like, he trash right now. If it is, like be honest. It seemed like honesty is what these people lack. If they can't be honest with themselves, they can't be honest for this team. And knowingly, we know that with Dak at quarterback, this team ain't gonna never do nothing. I don't give a damn if Dak throw for 6,000 yards next year and 50 touchdowns. I bet you still won't result to no Super Bowl because he just ain't one of the ones. We could be number one in all categories. I'm pretty sure that we'll find a way not to win a championship with Dak Prescott at quarterback. He's trash. They be like, he's trash. I don't give a damn about no season numbers. What about his winning numbers? I think somebody was telling me about the statistics that he had against 500 teams. It wasn't that good. But yeah, he'll beat up. Yeah, you sit over there and beat up on little high school kids. You'll beat up on the Giants and stuff. But when you get them grown men to come at you, now all of a sudden, man, you can't perform. Then you ain't never been one of them ones. They got to come with that whole cold hard truth, man. They got to come with that cold hard truth, man, that they ain't willing to accept. But all right, y'all, I just wanted to go ahead and present that front seven though. I'll probably go back later on and look at the back end. And if it's worth presenting, I'll present. If it ain't, I'll come with certain notes. I'll probably put it in the community tab and probably get ready to bust out some film. Because I was kind of looking at some things, but if y'all did have something like a player that you wanted to key in on, you can always put that in the comment section, and we'll go back and look that up though. But I kind of was keying out. To me, I was kind of keying in on that first drive, that defensive drive, with some of the players that we gonna need to step up if we gonna have an attempt to even try to be a halfway decent team, right? So that's on the list, and I think I had Hoffman on the list too. But all right, y'all, man. Till the next time, y'all. We gone.